If you've ever had to deal with navigating the healthcare system, navigating benefits, you know that it can be frustrating, it can be overwhelming, and you may have left a lot of money on the table in the process. But today, we have an expert with us who's going to answer so many questions that you have about maximizing your benefits. My name is Christy Siefkin, the host of BreaktimeU podcast, and I'm joined today by Justin Eccles, who is the managing partner of Vector ES. Justin, thank you for joining us here today.
Hey, thanks for having me. Pleasure.
Yeah. Pleasure to have you. And so many people, as they look at their benefits, you start to get glazed over. I know I've flipped through policy books before and I'm thinking, what groceries do I need to get later? And did I turn the stove off? It can be overwhelming.
Right.
But you've got a unique approach to educating people. Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so what we try to do, we acknowledge that, right? Number one, it's complex. Number two, it can be awfully confusing. I tell people all the time when we do any sort of educational meeting, if we do a group setting or even a one-on-one, I'm like, you don't have to remember this. You can contact us directly. I was like, and if you can't sleep tonight, just read the summary of benefits, right? Like, and I'm
bedtime reading material.
Like, if you have insomnia, I was like, I got a cure. You just read because they're 12 pages and all the fine print and all the
words
confusing,
we don't understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so what we try to do is we try to break it down and put it into English in very simplified format. We're in the TikTok world, right?
Yeah.
And so what I go to employers all the time is I said, let us do an online enrollment. And they're like, well, are they going to self-educate and have to read all those brochures? I'm like, they'll be there. For full disclosure, we have to, by law, create the...
And some people love that.
And they do.
Some people do.
And they will highlight and mark. And I love it because I'm like, cool. Somebody wants to be really involved. Great.
Yes.
Or some people are like, tell me the gist.
Yes. Give me the short summary.
TikTok version.
Yes.
So we have enrollment videos literally where we go through medical and we'll say, hey, the things you need to remember with medical. Remember your deductible, your co-pays, your out-of-pocket max in your network. That's literally the gist.
And that's how I learned to have short bites, have it in video.
Right.
That's great.
And then people feel more confident in their decision-making. Then we can put up side-by-side plans if there's more than one plan offering, the pros and cons to each, and then the cost point. And all of that's built into the electronic format, right?
That's great.
The other pressure they don't feel is having to meet with me, right? So they come and sit down. They feel I have an agenda, and most brokers do have an agenda.
Right. You have a job. You're trying to sell something.
You gotta buy insurance.
Right.
I was very adamant when I got into this business, I wouldn't be that guy. I wanted to be more of a trusted advisor.
Yeah.
That was more comfortable to me than the person's like, hey, what can we get you in here today?
Yes,
like,
step right up.
I don't like that. Most
None
people
of us
don't like
do.
So now you can watch a video, you can read and then you make your own choice. Like I'm not
on your own time.
And on your own time, in your curlers or whatever people do. I don't know. Do they even do that anymore?
I use curlers sometimes still, We're all still in the sweatpants, I think.
Oh, I better not tell you what my wife does. But the point is that they can self-educate and feel confident with their decision. And the cool part is it has their price total running alongside as they're signing up.
That is cool. So you can see, okay, this is getting a little higher than I want, or okay, this is great. This is under what I expected.
Yeah, so pick everything you want. And then if your eyes are too big for your stomach, like, oh, let's go cut. People call me like, I want all this, but I can't afford it. I'm like, well, got to trim something. Yes. What can we trim? Let's have that conversation. What is vital to you? What's not vital to you? And then it becomes a very personalized plan. It's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, good.
And as I think about sweatpants and curlers and us working from our homes in this way, obviously for many, a big period of time, all we could do was see physicians virtually when we were at home during the pandemic in our curlers, in our yoga pants. Right. What is the state of telehealth? Are people still really taking advantage of this, or do you feel like they're ignoring it when they really could be getting something out of it?
Well, that blows your minds, but they're not taking advantage. Not nearly as much. Some are. Some people have caught the vision. My wife is one of them. She loves it. Yeah. So what do people hate about the doctor? That's a horrible question, but what do you hate about going to the experience, right? But you know most of the time what's wrong with your child or yourself. Yes. You know that your child has 102-degree fever. You know strep throat's going around the school. Yep. There's a letter sent home from school.
Yes, or you know the ear infection signs.
You know your kid and they're, Mom, my throat hurts and this doesn't, or whatever, or yourself, your throat hurts, or you know what's wrong. This is 9 o'clock at night. When's the earliest you think you could get into a doctor?
If you probably can't even get in the next day, is what a lot of people deal with.
And if you're really desperate, then you go hit the ER. And now we're talking cha-ching, like big dollars, out of pocket, right? So we just tough it out. Teledoc is 24/7, and there's a real doctor. And what people don't realize, 70% of phone calls are diagnosed and prescribed. 7 out of 10. So you call in at 9 o'clock, they know what's wrong with you. They write a script, they send it to the prescription. When can you pick that up?
Wow.
As soon as they open. No waiting room. And so now as soon as they open the next morning, you got the relief that you need, and you didn't have to go through the best case scenario. 1 or 2 in the afternoon the next day by the time you got to the doctor, got the script. And guess how much it costs?
I'd say the same price or maybe even cheaper than if you went in person.
Telehealth is $0 copay. So you're calling 24/7 with no out-of-pocket. It's insane. So you can put
insane people aren't doing this.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And why does the insurance company want you to use telehealth?
They can be more efficient, I imagine.
More efficient, but it's separate from your plan. It's an individual marketed plan, and so it never hits your medical plan.
Gotcha.
And that keeps your experience down. So that helps the group. It's a win-win on so many different levels. My favorite part is you can download the app and turn on location services. And if you're walking into a clinic or even the ER, it'll buzz like an Amber Alert. You ever had an Amber where it goes, zzz, zzz,
yes, your phone goes crazy.
And it says, are you sure you want to go do this? You want to do this over the phone?
So they're saying there's a better way. Listen to my phone.
Do you want to save some money? Yeah. And then you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I even had that. Because we do. We forget what our coverages are all the time. So telehealth, I'm glad you asked. It's a phenomenal product.
Is there another feature similar to telehealth that all the time you say, people should be using this and they aren't? Something that's undiscovered, a place yet again, they're spending money where they could be saving money.
Yeah. So the big one is HSA accounts, right? So if you are a person that is affluent is the best way to say it. You owe taxes every year. You're not one that gets a huge refund. Yeah. You need to put money aside, or you're a very independent person, self-sufficient. You don't want to have a ton of insurances. Remember, we've talked about supplemental, and we've talked about all these things. Like, I want to take care of myself. Well, that takes discipline. Yeah. That means you setting aside money.
Yes.
That means you taking care of all of that sort of stuff. And so HSA accounts are a huge opportunity for people in that boat. If you're getting a huge tax refund, you're a person that isn't disciplined, you know yourself, be honest with yourself, then you don't want an HSA account. But the reason you want an HSA is it rolls year over year.
Yes, you can keep it. Yes. It's not an invest and then lose it if you don't.
Correct.
You can
and
take
it's your money. And it's pre-tax. Like this would take a whole nother podcast.
This is a Christmas gift you want to give everybody.
And it rolls year over year over year. And after $2,000 of savings, you can invest it into stocks and bonds. So you can get a return on it. It's incredible. It's a huge vehicle for people that are very, very self-sufficient and disciplined. But even if you're not and you want to be,
it can help.
What a way to cut your teeth, right?
Yes.
Because it comes out of your check and it gets deposited for you. And so they're kind of helping you be disciplined. So it'll come out, be stashed for you. And then you get a little card with the monies attached to it. And it has to be used on medical. It has to be used on braces. So braces, dental, those sorts of things, surgeries. You can't go and buy a side-by-side or buy a new car.
I'm sure people have tried at certain points.
The reality is you could if you really had to, but you're going to have to pay tax.
Tax on it, right.
Because you put it pre-tax. So it's still your money. It's phenomenal.
It's fantastic.
So that's another avenue. We've talked about preventative. There's lots of other things. Yeah, lots of cool things.
Justin, you've given us great advice today. I'm sure you have a whole lot more of it. If people want to reach out to you and your team, what's the best way to do that?
Reach out to us through the website, vesbenefits.com. Talk to your HR person. Hopefully you're friends with them. Don't offend them, but
become friends with them.
Yes, because you know your benefit package. If all you have is medical, dental, vision, just saying there's a whole lot more at zero to no cost to the employer. Have those conversations. Have them reach out to us. The other thing is just call us directly, 928-428-0860. Always happy to help. And believe it or not, when I sit down with a person, I'm like, we're trying to solve your problems, your issues.
Yes.
We don't worry about the commissionable dollars. We try to make things fit. If you don't believe me, I'll tell you one last story we'll end with. There's a little school teacher, and I sat down with her, and she said, I have this much vacation time. I have this much money set aside. How much supplemental insurance do I buy? And I said, none. And she said, I want to be protected. I'm like, you are. I was like, you took care of yourself. You have a year's worth of stuff here, and you're 64. Wow. You're going to retire next year, get Medicare. I was like, you don't need my stuff. And she's like, you're such a nice young man. I'm going to send everyone to you. And I'm like, I'm not. I was like, it's not a big deal, but she didn't need anything. Yeah. And that's what we try to do with everybody. And that's what I hope your broker's doing for you. So, yeah, there you go.